Tibet is often described as remote and timeless, but its history is anything but simple. Long before written Tibetan history began, people were already living on the Tibetan plateau. Early traditions point to the kingdom of Zhangzhong as an important precursor to later Tibetan states and as a center connected with the Bon religion. But reliable historical records only become much clearer in the 7th century, when Tibetan script emerged and the Tibetan Empire began to unify large parts of the plateau. The Tibetan Empire gave Tibet its first major political identity, but it did not last forever. After its collapse in the 9th and 10th centuries, Tibet entered a fragmented period. Local powers rose and fell, and political unity weakened. Yet this era also prepared the ground for one of the most important developments in Tibetan history, the revival and spread of Buddhism. Between the 10th and 12th centuries, Buddhist institutions became deeply rooted, and several major schools of Tibetan Buddhism developed. Over time, religion and politics became increasingly intertwined. Tibet was drawn into the world of the Mongol Empire and later the Yuan dynasty. After that period, Tibet regained a large degree of independence in the 14th century and was governed for centuries by noble houses and religious political alliances. In the 16th century, the title Dalai Lama was created. In the 17th century, with support from the Kossuth Khanate, the Dalai Lama became not only a religious figure but also the head of state. Tibet was never fully isolated from surrounding powers. In 1717, the Chungha Khanate invaded Lhasa and disrupted the existing order. The Qing dynasty then intervened, and in 1720 Qing forces drove the Dzungars out. Over time, the region became more formally tied to Qing imperial administration. Borders with Qinghai, Sichuan, and Yunnan were demarcated, and the term Xizang came into official use. This period matters because it shaped later arguments over Tibet's political status. In the 20th century, Tibet's status became one of the most contested questions in Asia. In 1951, the People's Republic of China asserted control through the 17-point agreement. In 1959, after growing conflict, the 14th Dalai Lama fled to India, helping create Tibetan diaspora communities around the world. Today, Tibet is still explained through competing narratives, one focused on cultural survival, religious freedom, and human rights, the other focused on national unity, modernization, and development. That tension is why Tibet remains a global issue.